continue to make sure Ukraine is held to account. Russia is held to account for what it's doing in Ukraine.
Hi, Mr. Trudeau. Mackenzie Gray with Global News. Are there currently any MPs in your caucus that are named in the NCCOP report to be wittingly or semi-wittingly participants in foreign interference?
The issue of foreign interference is one that this government has taken incredibly seriously since 2015. We brought in the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians over the objections of the Conservative Party and indeed the strenuous resistance of the Harper government for years. We brought in a renewed NCIRA for oversight over our national security instances, and we created specific bodies of experts, of top civil servants to ensure the integrity of our elections. We've also called a number of different reports, including an ongoing report on foreign interference that we're working with right now to see how they can follow up on the NCCOP report.
We've heard from Mr. Singh and Ms. May. They have both said that there are no members of their party who are named in the report. So I'll ask you again, are there any current Liberal caucus members named in the NCCOP report that are wittingly or semi-wittingly participants in foreign interference?
I will allow Mr. Singh and Ms. May to speak for themselves.
Last question.
Hi, it's Annie Bertrand-Oliver with CTV National News. Just going back on that, but why can't you say anymore? Singh and May have both talked about this report and provided substantially more details than you have. So why are you unable to provide any details about what is in this NCCOP report?
I think it's important that Canadians have confidence in our ability collectively as a democracy to defend the institutions and the processes around our elections and our democracy. That is why officials are engaging with the foreign interference inquiry to see how they can follow up on the NCCOP report.
You're talking about how Canadians should have confidence in the work that's being done around foreign interference and to prevent that from happening. But Dominic, LeBlanc, your own minister, has said that the government disagreed with the committee's interpretation of some of the intelligence. So what are some of the problems with this intelligence, and do you agree with that assessment?
We made clear some of the concerns we have with the way the NCCOP drew its conclusions. I think that is an important part of the process. The NCCOP, the National Security Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, exists so that parliamentarians from all parties can have full access to the work that our national security agencies are doing. That's an important step that wouldn't have happened if the Conservative Party had remained in power. We were able to create that over the objections of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party. So we welcome the work that they're doing, but of course when it comes to intelligence, there are important bodies like the Foreign Interference Inquiry that is tasked to look at this, and we will continue our work with them.
Did Modi give you any sort of assurance that he will cooperate with the investigation into the killing of a Canadian Sikh activist, and did you raise that?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into it further, but there are important issues that we need to work on, and we will.
Prime Minister, good morning. Graphic Canyon, CBC News. Are you going to invite Narendra Modi to the G7 in Canada next year if he keeps denying the allegations of his government's involvement in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and the foreign interference allegations into Canadian elections?
I can appreciate the keenness with which Canadians are looking forward to next year's G7. However, Italy continues to be the president of this G7 for the rest of this year, and I look forward to working with Prime Minister Maloney and all my G7 partners on the broad range of issues that we've talked about. I will have more to say about next year's G7 when we assume the presidency next year.
Hi, Prime Minister Brian Platt with Bloomberg. Prime Minister Modi was invited here. He played a pretty prominent role yesterday. He was center stage in the family photo. Given the accusations that you've made in the U.S. court case, has he paid any diplomatic price for this? Because it seems like he was welcomed here with open arms.
I think there is a clear understanding that we need to continue to engage across and around the world with various partners, even as we highlight challenges, as we stand up for the rule of law and the principles that drive the G7. we need to engage with a broad range of partners, and that's exactly what we did during the outreach session yesterday.